So last week we were just talking about this. We were talking about how Todd Phillips finally announced the sequel to the Joker, and they announced the title, Folly Ado. I'm probably still saying that wrong. Don't mind me, mind the public education system of Southeast DC. That's how we do it. But I didn't realize they were already working very, very quickly at finding people for this movie, and it was announced yesterday. I texted you. I was like, hey, man, because I was going through a lot yesterday. That's why we didn't do the show. But yesterday, I texted BC. I was like, BC, I think I saw something about Harley getting casted with Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. Your first thing was, nah. Like, I don't see
exactly.
this.
I was like, here go Lando looking at these bullshit sites, this clickbait.
That's what I do.
There's no way they're already casting people. They just finished the script. Variety? Deadline?
Hollywood
Reporter?
Yes. So, it turns out that that's true. Lady Gaga is actually being courted heavily, it looks like, from Warner Brothers for the Joker spinoff. The Joker sequel, Folly Ado. Now, we can only assume that they're talking about the Harley Quinn thing. But the more surprising thing to me wasn't so much the Harley Quinn character being in this. It's what they announced about what this movie was going to be. And they're saying that it looks like it's going to be a musical. Now, two parts. One, how do we feel about Lady Gaga potentially joining this movie? And two, how do we feel about this movie potentially being a musical?
You know, I used to give one of my best friends, his name, he'd been on a couple shows with me, BDJ. I used to give him a lot of crap back in the day because when Lady Gaga first came on the scene, he was always talking about how fine she was. I was like, nah, dude, she is not attractive at all. You are out of your mind.
You are tripping.
And then most recently, I had to call him and go, you know, man, I got to apologize to you. I was like, man, I said some things that was way wrong back in the day. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Lady Gaga is gorgeous and amazing. And this was all after House of Gucci. When I saw how I was like, you know what? I have been completely wrong about it. Is absolutely stunning. And one of the greatest actresses on the planet right now. So I'm all in on her joining any project, let alone a comic book project. I'm all in. I'm in. I'm got it. And I think it's a perfect casting to separate yourself from Callie Coco's Harley Quinn as well as Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Lady Gaga is the perfect direction to go with this type of film.
Right. So, now, let me say my piece. I agree with you. The minute that they said Lady Gaga Joker, I knew exactly what I'm getting, and I think it's a perfect choice. I wasn't a big fan of the movie A Star Is Born for the movie part. Okay, it's a great movie. I just didn't enjoy it. Okay, I can appreciate it. I can see how people enjoyed it. Not for me.
I get that. That's like my thoughts on Lord of the Rings. As I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan, I understand why people do like that movie, and I can respect it. Yes. So I see. You know, the movie may not have been for you, but you respect it.
I can respect it. I'm not going to take away any of his accolades. I thought it was a great job. Lady Gaga
You see internet. That's how you can not like a movie and still not be a douchebag. Go on.
I really appreciated what she did, and I was very surprised at how she carried herself in that movie, and I was very, very surprised about her performance in that movie. So when I'm hearing that she's going to be opposite Joaquin Phoenix, I just find this to be a very compatible group of actors together. I think that she's going to hold her own the same way that she held her own against Bradley Cooper, and Bradley Cooper also he has that bag that he can get into, and he was in that bag in that movie. Joaquin is going to go, there's levels to it though, between Joaquin and Bradley. I'm not saying Bradley isn't good, but there's levels to this, okay? Joaquin is going to bring her into that world when they're going to be on screen together. So I'm excited about this premise. Now let's get to the second part.
Did you see my article I put up?
Yes.
Did you see the post from Boss Logic I added
did.
to it?
Ha ha land. Boss Logic just pulled a Simpsons move on everybody, and no one knew it. And this was a few years ago. He put up the picture of Harley and Joker in a musical La La Land, which is what we're getting. Okay, can I go first on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I love this. Here's why. One of my favorite musical biopics, Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Joaquin
Phoenix.
He can sing. That movie was amazing. So I trust him with this. I'm not questioning Lady Gaga's musical talent ever since she sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I believe, on the Oscar stage. She separated herself to me in another upper echelon. We know she can sing. That's why I'm excited for this. Johnny, because Joaquin has had already a musical hit, a musical drama-led movie in that, I have enough faith that when he's looking at the script, he's going to make sure, hey, I've already been here before. This isn't new for me. This isn't new for me. Now, had it been any other director, any other actor, and I'm hearing this, I'm a little hesitant. But as fans of movies, we always complain and bitch that we don't get enough variety about the stuff that we're doing.
Yep.
We're finally going to get a comic book potential musical and a drama hard-setting thing. You know what? Give it to me. Let me see what this is. Let me see what this is going to look like, because I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Someone is going to do something like this at some point ever. If it's going to be Joaquin Phoenix to be the first one to kind of tip his toe into this, I think that we should let him do it. He's already proven himself to do it. And also at the same time, because he's coming back for this, it is a sequel. He doesn't do sequels. He knows it's a musical. And he was on board with it, and he came back for it. This is the same story that we talked about last week. What did we say last week? Hey, he's coming back for this. He's not being forced to. He had to agree to this. We should trust him. Does that change now that we now know it is a musical? Or do we still trust him?
Yeah, dude. Okay, so if it wasn't, this would be a weird situation. But one of the things about comic book movies is the reason they are still flourishing is because you're able to have different subgenres within the genre of the comic book movie. Right. That is why Marvel has been so successful, because almost every single film is a different subgenre, you know? So if you have Joker and you want to make it a musical, at first off, I'm with you. I'm like, I don't know about this. Even with Joaquin Phoenix, that's not where I go, okay, maybe this will work. The reason I think it might work is because of how powerful the musical element really was in the first film. You know, you think about that score and how important to the film the score was. It was. You think about the scene right after Joker, you know, caps them fools in the subway, and he goes and locks himself in this random bathroom, and he just starts dancing. You think about him dancing down the steps, all those different moments.
The steps in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Bronx, the Bronx.
Yeah.
Stay away. But, you know, you take all that and you take into the fact that the Joker is an unreliable narrator. A musical.
You know, I heard that.
What'd I say?
Narrator.
An unreliable narrator. A musical is a perfect narrative way to go with this film, because he's always had this thing with music and dancing and whatnot. So when you add in Harley Quinn, you add in that iconic image that we've seen in I think it showed up in the first Suicide Squad of Harley and Joker dancing, in the suit and her in her classic uniform. It's an image that we've always seen of Harley. So I think adding Lady Gaga, having Joaquin Phoenix, this Joker film, it fits perfectly, and I think it really will have a fun ride for us to go along with. So
when I'm thinking about this, remember that episode of Scrubs? There was an episode of Scrubs when the lady had the singing disorder, where like everything she was watching became a musical.
No, I don't watch Scrubs, but that sounds awesome.
No, so pretty much every episode they do a new medical condition. A lady comes in and she's saying everything is music around me, and she's actually watching musicals happen. So whenever JD and Turk are like trying to fix her up and they're talking, this is how you got the fantastic song Guy Love, right? Because they're talking about how they're best friends, but what she hears is them singing Guy Love together. But actually they're just like, yeah, you're my best friend. That's, if they can do something like that, because we all know he has these mental disorders, and I'm wondering if that's what they're kind of going to lean into. If they do something like that where he becomes so whacked out, everything he's singing is just in musical form, but no one else sees this.
Yeah.
And I believe it's also very similar to there was a show my wife used to watch. I believe like Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. It also took a similar beat to that, right? Everything she was watching was a musical. If they do something like that, that would be an interesting take, and that's what I'm thinking is going to be. That's what I'm thinking I would want it to be. But then again, at the same time, I'm not the writer or director. But we're just here to celebrate these choices. I think this is a cool thing. I know some people are going to be like, no, not my Joker. Leave my Batman movies alone. I don't want musicals. Listen, I don't like musicals either. I'm not a big musical guy. Moulin Rouge, I'm sorry. I can't watch it. Most musicals, I just can't watch. Little House on the Prairie. Sorry, fam. Not going to watch it.
It's funny. La La Land turned me into a crazy musical fan. Like, I love musicals now. I have watched Hamilton probably about 300 times. I regularly listen to the soundtrack to that. I watch In the Heights regularly. I've started to really enjoy my musicals, and so that's why I'm maybe a little more on board and ready to go for this. And another one of our mutual friends just put up a tweet about this, Koi Genre. And I love he's like, I love this. Perfect chance. Also, it's gonna piss off the bros. And I'm just like, yes, piss off the bros. I love it.
People don't know what they want sometimes until they get it, right? And this is another one of those examples. Once again, if you don't like this movie, you still have the original that they made.
Facts.
You still have the original that they made.
If you don't like this movie, don't watch it again.
Then you don't have to watch it.
It's okay.
But it could be really, really good. I didn't know I was going to like the first movie as much as I did. Now, I told you, I can't rewatch it, but I'm glad that I did. It was an experience that I'll never forget. I'll never rewatch the first one. Now, I won't say never, because I'm guessing we're going to probably end up doing a Joker rewatch before we watch this next one.
Yeah.
But it's not a movie that I want to revisit. Now, the second one, here's what the second one could do. The second one could be a lot more fun. People don't know what the tone of this movie is going to be. This movie could be a lot more fun, to where maybe now it's kind of like how Infinity War did Thor: The Dark World. I used to hate Thor: The Dark World, but now because of Infinity War, it makes that one a little bit more rewatchable for me, right? Yeah. Because of how they go back, and do things. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm curious and I'm intrigued. I would be very hesitant to say, if you are upset about this because you wanted it to go somewhere else, just remember, you don't know what it looks like yet. Let's get a trailer. We'll reassess once the trailer drops. But I think this is a really cool thing for the genre in itself. People didn't know how they wanted Ant-Man, but then when it became a heist film, people leaned into it. With WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness, we didn't know we wanted it to be a horror film until Sam Raimi got his hands on it. And now I want to see more of those elements, those horror elements, into my comic book movies. Hey, listen, The Joker has one of the greatest songs that I ever love. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost his will, the Joker got away. Hey, 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 hey. The Joker sings, okay? Let this man go. I'm here for it.
I'll also say, if this is not speaking to the bros, as a bro, if this is not the direction you wanted them to go, then take your 70 million and make your own.
And with that being said, are you guys excited about this movie? Are you guys excited for the new Joker? Are you excited it's a musical? Are you hating everything that you're hearing about this? Which camp are you? We would love to hear. Comment below and let us know. Leave it down there as we move on to our next topic. So,